Hello, everybody. My name is Ali Orooji. I'm the UCF Programming Team faculty advisor. I work with 6 coaches in training the team, and we go compete against other universities. The coaches and I usually go to computer science 1 class to tell people about programming team and encourage them to get on the team. But right now the classes do not meet face-to-face, so we have to do it with video. Let me give you a little background. As you know, universities have a football team and basketball team, and they compete against each other. For example, with basketball, they have different conferences, and after they determine the conference champions, in March, they select 60, 70 teams to determine the national champion. There is also a programming competition among universities, but this one is an international event. Football, basketball, baseball are just colleges in US. This is an international event. You see the numbers from the most recent academic year. They had more than 100 countries participating, and they had more than 20,000 teams competing. So it is a truly international event, and it is a huge event. And obviously, with 20,000 teams, you cannot bring all of them into one hotel and tell them compete. They do it in stages. Originally, they had the regional competition followed by World Championship. They had 35, 40 regions in the world, and then the winners get together in the second round for World Championship. Just as an example of a region, our students compete in what is called Southeast region. There are 5 states, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, and Mississippi. And there are usually 120 teams competing in our region. At any rate, they used to do regional followed by World Championship, but what they do now, they have added a middle stage between regional and World Championship, and the middle stage is like a kind of national champion, but for our case, it is a US and Canada combined, so they call it North America. So what they did last year, they had 11 regional competitions in North America. And then from that, they invited 50, 60 teams to North America Championship. And then from those 50, 60 teams, they invited like 18, 20 teams to advance to World Championship. And you see the numbers, out of 20,000 teams, they selected 130 teams to go to World Championship. So roughly 1 out of 150, 200 teams go to World Championship. The format for the contest, like in basketball, there are 5 players on the court, and in football, there are 11 players on the field. In this particular contest, there are 3 students in a team, but they get only 1 computer, not 3 computers. So a major part of the strategy is who uses the computer at what time. And they usually give you 10, 12 problems, and you have 5 hours, and the team that solves the most wins. So it's a very simple concept. 3 students, 1 computer, say 10 problems, 5 hours, whoever solves the most wins. Of course, when you have 100, 200 teams competing, there is a good chance 2 or 3 teams finish the same number of problems. So they have a tiebreaker to break the ties, and the penalty system is basically how long it took you to solve each problem and how many incorrect attempts you had. The contest is, I believe, 42 years old. It started in US, and the first few years, not a lot of universities knew about it, so they didn't really have a lot of teams. But then it became more and more widely known, and more teams from US participated, and then Australia and Europe joined, and Asia joined, and now you see that there are more than 100 countries. Our students, they have competed the last 38 years. And you see their performance in Southeast region. Again, there are 5 states. So schools like Georgia Tech is there, University of Florida is there, Auburn is there, Clemson is there. Again, there are 120 teams typically. Our students have competed the last 38 years, and if you add up how many times our students finish first, second, or third, it adds up to 30. And that means our students have always finished in top 3. And I would like to stress that consistency. There are other schools who've done well. For example, Georgia Tech has done well some years. But UCF is the only school that has finished in top 3 every single year. No other university has done that. In North America Championship this past year, our students got bronze medal. In World Finals, you see that they have finished top 10 a few times. In World Finals, they also recognize teams from each super region or each continent. In 2017, our students finished first in US. In 2018, they finished first in North America, which is US and Canada. Answering a few questions. First, how do you get on the team? As you know, they have football tryout, basketball tryout. We also have a programming team tryout. In previous years, what we did, the first Saturday in fall, we held what we call practice local contest. This is intended for students to learn how this contest works. Then second Saturday of fall, we held the real local contest. We use the real local contest to select team members. Of course, this year we are not really sure if UCF will have face-to-face classes, so we have to wait and see how we're going to do it. Please check the programming team website. If you do a Google search on UCF programming team, it will take you to programming team website, and we're going to post there how we're going to do things. But we will definitely have practice contests, and we will definitely have the real contest, and this will be very early in fall. Now, early on, you saw that the team consists of 3 students, but here at UCF, we have way too many good students to be able to select just 3 students. It's just impossible. And many, many good students here at UCF. We are really fortunate about that. Fortunately, our region allows universities to bring multiple teams to regional contests. And there are other contests we take our students to participate. So we are not limited to 3 students. In recent years, on the average, we have selected 30 team members. We have what we call varsity team members and junior varsity team members. Junior varsity team members are like freshmen and sophomore. They are good future prospects, but they may not be ready to go to World Finals yet. But again, it really depends who shows up for a local contest. One year there may be many, many good students, so we may have more than 15 varsity team members, or there may be many, many good new prospects. So we may have more than 15 junior varsity. But we roughly select 30. This past year, we had 36. We picked multiple of 3 because teams consist of 3 students. In a local contest, you compete as individual, so we can see individual skills and potential. But once we select our 30, 36, then we form teams of 3. Now, as far as why you would want to be on the team, the person who gets on football team keeps practicing football, so they become better football player. And the person who gets on basketball, they keep practicing basketball, so they excel in basketball. With this particular competition, you keep coming up with solutions to problems, and then you code your solution, and you keep doing that. So obviously you become a great problem solver and a great programmer. So you're going to excel in problem solving, and you're going to excel in coding or programming. And the fun part, we go to regional contests, we usually qualify for World Finals. And the fact that there are 100+ countries, they do World Finals in different locations, so you get to see different parts of the world, and they usually have it in a nice place, so it's a very fun trip with your teammates and with the programming team coaches. The fortune part, I don't really want to spend too much time discussing money, but since you become a great problem solver while you are students, you have no problem finding internships, and when you are graduating, you have no problem finding full-time job. So the future is very bright. Just to give you an example, big companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, they come to UCF every semester for recruiting. They have meetings for all the students, anybody can attend, and then they have a separate meeting for programming team members to encourage them to take an internship position at their company, and if they are graduating, accept a full-time job. As far as misconceptions, the programming team coaches and I, we go to Computer Science 1. That means you are ready to be on the team. There are actually a lot of high school students who took programming in high school. Their first week at UCF, first semester at UCF, they try for the team and they make it to the team because they know programming. So they don't really, and many of them, they make it to varsity team. So they do not have to start with junior varsity. So as long as you know programming, you are ready to be on the team. It is never too early to try. Now, I don't mean to imply we don't want juniors and seniors. Everybody is welcome to be on the UCF team. Everybody is welcome to try. But we go to CS1 because we know you guys are ready. As far as not solving any problems or not making it to the team, it's a 5-hour contest. You know, you may try a problem and you have some errors in it and you don't see it. You say, well, let me take a break from it, try another problem. And you code that one and it doesn't work, and you try to find the error and you don't see it. You say, well, let's go to the first problem or go to a third problem. You just bounce back and forth and the 5 hours may be over. It's still not a big deal if you don't solve any problem. I assure you, you're gonna solve problems because you know programming. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world. What the coaches and I try to emphasize when we talk to a student is if you do not come to the tryout, we cannot put you on the team, meaning the probability of being on the team is 0. If you come to tryout, then the chance of being on the team, the probability of being on the team is greater than 0. So I hope we see several of you on the tryout, and we hope to have you on UCF Programming Team. Thank you.